my name is Sharon, and I am so glad that you are here. Welcome to episode 25. Today we're going to chat about one of my new favorite secret weapons. It is called PowerSheets, Cultivate What Matters, and I can't wait to share this resource with you. Before we get too far into it, I just want to share that I'm not an affiliate with PowerSheets or Cultivate What Matters. It's just something that I've been using for the past almost year, and I have been loving. It is my first time using it. I had heard about it in years past, but I really was looking for a way to organize my annual goals. If you've been around here for a while, you know that I am obsessed with goal setting. I am all about it, and I'm really good at like those monthly goals, quarterly goals. It's those year-long goals that I tend to get lost in. So I wanted a way to kind of work through the process of setting the goals and then having a way to stay accountable monthly with those goals to make sure that I was making progress towards them and moving towards them in the intentional way that I wanted to. So I loved after I purchased the PowerSheets for the first time, they send you a video or video tutorials to walk you through the setup process. So in the very beginning, there is sort of like intro pages that walk you through the process. And I loved it. It was a great reflection tool. It helped you think about where you were, do a life evaluation, and then think big picture about your life, what you want things to look like a year from now, and then break those up into the goals that you want to track for the year. So I went into 2022 very ambitious, which I'm sure you're not surprised by. And those videos really helped me kind of focus and pick goals that were meaningful to me. I found that halfway through 2022, I had sort of like dropped off on some of my goals. The thing I struggled with the most was staying consistent with so many. In PowerSheets, they actually have you select up to 8 goals, which looking back now, I realize is too many for me. Too many annual goals. So you see they have space for 8. To be fair, the program encourages you to do, 5 to 8. 8 is sort of the maximum, but 8 was a lot for me. The overachiever in me really wanted to do those 8, and I, looking back, should have narrowed it down a little bit more. The other tricky thing for me was sort of like seasonal goals. So I knew that later in 2022, I would have more capacity in my schedule to start working on my big writing goal. But in, May, June, I just didn't have time for it. So I wanted to make sure that it was written down so I could hold myself accountable to it. That's just something to keep in mind if you decide to give PowerSheets a try. So overall, each month, the PowerSheets walks you through sort of a reflection for the month ahead. There is a calendar space, which I don't use, and then you can sort of decide what you're going to track. So I literally would leave, it's called the tending list. If you follow Cultivate What Matters on Instagram, you'll catch on to some of the lingo pretty quick, but it allows you to track your progress on each of your goals throughout the month, which I loved. I actually kept this open next to my bed so that it was just like a quick thing I did before bed each night was look and see, did I make any progress on my monthly action item? Did I make any progress on my weekly action items? And then there's a daily habit tracker. So in previous episodes, we've chatted about habit trackers and the idea of consistency over intensity. So if that's something that appeals to you or that helps you, it would be awesome for you to invest in PowerSheets as just a way to kind of organize yourself. So 2022 is wrapping up. I am very excited to start PowerSheets again in 2023. I got my sister hooked, so I'm actually hoping we can kind of make a day of it and sort of work through our goal setting process parallel to one another, just to add kind of a fun little twist to it. On the podcast this week, I'm going to walk you through my entire PowerSheets, including the specific goals that I started with. And then I'm going to share with you how I modified them for the second half. So if you're interested in tuning in for that, you can find that over on the podcast. And then next week's episode, I can't believe we're here already. Next week's episode is going to be about my annual review process. I've been doing this for a few years now, probably going on 3 or 4 years, and it is the end of December is one of kind of my favorite times to do these reflective processes. So I'm really excited to walk through this process with you, hopefully inspire you with your own process. And as always, you can feel free to subscribe below in the show notes to my mailing list. I deliver bite-sized personal growth for busy moms right to your inbox once a week. And when I create that content, I definitely have the busy mom in mind. So I promise you 2 minutes or less to read and implement an action step, which is pretty exciting if you're a busy mom like me. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. If you want to follow along in between episodes, you can find me on Instagram at Sharon Legier Coaching, or check out some of the services that I offer on my website, which is SharonLegierCoaching.com. Thank you so much, Mama. Have a great day.